Hello there. No wonder the NHS is broke. We spend billions on agency staff. Now, if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, click the little bell, select all, and then like and comment below. Now, just before I get into this video, I do have some sad news. Earlier this year, I was honoured to be invited to the HMS Sheffield Memorial events in Sheffield. And out of the blue, the former Mayor of Sheffield, Anne Murphy, someone I'd never met before, invited me to stay with her partner Gavin, and their pooch for a couple of nights. And I've just learned that Anne passed away just before Christmas. A most welcoming, open and genuine person, she made me feel completely at home for the short time I was there. And importantly, she made sure I was always in the right place at the right time, not always an easy task. And everyone that I met, when they found out where I was staying, told me about the wonderful things Anne had done over the years for her local community. My thoughts go to her family and friends, and I know she will be sorely missed by all. God bless Anne. Now, the Daily Mail has an exposé on agency companies raking in a fortune by supplying staff like locum doctors and nurses to hard-pressed NHS trusts. And the figure being touted is £500 million in fees alone, with the total cost to the NHS being put at £3 billion a year. But then there is also the eye-wateringly high amount of money the agency staff themselves earn, all milking the NHS for everything they can. And NHS managers happily pay out the money because it's not theirs. After all, their job is to make the hospital work as best they can, and if the only way to do that is to turn to expensive agencies, then they probably think so be it. But be in no doubt, these types of agencies and their high costs only come into being because the system they serve is broken. And the fault for this lies from top to bottom. Now, most people just lazily take a swipe at the health secretary, especially if the incumbent is a Tory, and then blame the vulture capitalist agencies. But politicians do policy, not day-to-day management. Where is the day-to-day management in all of this? Look at how many NHS bodies we have, and how many NHS executives and managers we have. It is their job to make this work. What do the top executives within the NHS do if not to protect our money and ensure staffing levels are met? If they can find the money to pay all these agency staff, then why aren't they the ones diverting the money into enhanced pay for nurses, for example? Why are they so footloose and fancy-free with our money? Has any of them got any grasp at all on the finances of the bodies they oversee? As far as I can see, the answer to that would be a big fat no. Either that, or the matter of taxpayers' money means not that much to them. Or worse, some of them could be getting under-the-table kickbacks. Further, all those staff accepting agency work on inflated pay schemes are also just as capitalist as the agencies. They're the ones that pocket most of the money after all. The agencies just take the fees. So it's not just rotten in the health department and agency offices, it's rotten from top to bottom. And you have to wonder how many people have really got their hands in the taxpayer cookie jar. Surely patients deserve better than this. Strange that the EU Parliament corruption scandal seems to have been removed from the news spotlight. And I say that because there has been talk that up to 60 MEPs could be implicated in this shenanigans. But as each MEP can only be held accountable under the laws of their own country, it makes it hard to press forwards. In fact, in some countries, I'm told that MEPs have virtual blanket immunity from prosecution. So an MEP could commit a crime of corruption in Brussels and the Belgian police can do nothing about it in certain circumstances. What's happened to the concept that apart from diplomats, for example, within one country everyone is equal before the law? And these MEPs are politicians, actively engaged in debating and voting on laws that could affect the people of Belgium. They should have no such immunity. And we still have rejoiners trying to reverse Brexit. Would you accept MPs and Lords from different parts of the UK having that type of immunity? Although given what some of them get up to, I'm pretty sure they'd take advantage of it. The energy providers don't give up, do they? It turns out they're hoarding £2 billion belonging to their long-suffering customers. Yes, they've upped the direct debit payments, even for those who are hundreds of pounds in credit. And the companies have been accused by a former board member of Ofgem, Christine Farnish, of putting their hands in their customers' pockets to fund their businesses, saying that they can use what are effectively temporary overpayments as a cheap way to access finance. Writing in the Telegraph, she said, "It's my guess that hard-pressed families have no idea that part of their energy direct debits are used to provide cheap financing for their supplier rather than actually paying for energy consumed." Now, Christine Farnish resigned from Ofgem because of the way they set the energy price cap, and given the way that many small energy firms went bust as prices rose, should set the alarm bells ringing that the regulator itself is as much to blame as anyone else. And this, of course, will accelerate the calls for gas and electricity to be nationalised. But with that, would it mean getting the same management style as we have in the NHS? Or the currently on-strike Border Force, where the armed forces turned up and made Border Force look very inefficient indeed? Or is it more an indicator that our quango regulators are not fit for purpose? And at the moment, many people are saying that the UK is broken and point their fingers at all sorts of likely causes. Me, I think it's more about a tired political system full of tired people, all of whom have the same sorts of ideas. So voting Labour in will make little difference, apart from them probably hiring 10 times more diversity and lived experience officers. Look at the Tories and Labour right now. Not really that much difference, is there? And they all use the same civil service and the same civil servants, appoint the same sort of people to quangos and to the House of Lords. And at every single election, the only change we see, at best, is maybe a couple of hundred different faces on the green benches out of the 650 of them. But the tens of thousands across the rest of the establishment stay exactly the same. And we wonder why we never see change for the better. And finally, when subscribing, please don't forget to press that little bell and also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. And thank you all so much for taking the time to watch the show.